What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here and for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this reality chat. Oh, gosh. I just wanted to talk about this real quick. I watched the most recent episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville actually early this morning, and it really wasn't too much going on, but I caught something, and it was even more so with the clip of the preview for the next week's episode. And it was Chris Fletcher and Martellholt having a conversation about Martell speaking to his wife. Now, granted, I will say that when Nell was speaking to Martell when he came over to the house to bring those 2 bottles of Mad Dog 2020 packaged up like it was the iNest wine, okay? I did not care for her bringing up the fact that she was invited to Melody's name change ceremony because, 1, it wasn't any of his business, and 2, she already knew how he was, and that something like that was going to get under his skin. But I also do believe that she's doing the job because I don't know if you all have caught it, but they're not even in the credits of the show, like when the show opens. But they have been doing confessionals as well as they have had scenes. In my personal opinion, a good bit of scenes for people that are not even in the opening credits, because in the credits, you've got, of course, Melody, Martell, you've got all the Scotts, anyway, I'm not even going to go into that, but you got the Scotts, both of them, and then you've got Stormy and her husband, and then you've got Kiki. Nell and Chris are not even in that, but they've had multitudes of scenes and confessionals, and I'm starting to wonder, like, are they prepping them to take over someone else's spot? And I would say it would be a couple of the Scotts, if not both of the Scott couples, because honestly, I'm over both of them. I'm over seeing Letitia and her gun-bearing husband and the ridiculousness of their business, and I have yet to really hear them discuss all of the stuff that they're going through in their business, besides the stuff where they're just trying to make it seem like people are out here trying to tear them down or stop them from doing charitable events when they're just trying to donate houses. You can still do that. You don't have to have an event to do that, But anyway, and then the Black Business Expo, which they say was a success, but they didn't want to get, mainly Tisha didn't want to have much feedback on what they could have done differently or done better. So if they do it the next time, it will be better. And then hearing Kimmy and Maurice talk about her lack of a sex drive because of the stuff that she's going through, and his lack of caring about what she is going through because he just wants to get his needs met and get his rocks off, So I'm honestly okay with that if the show is going to continue and they're considering bringing the Fletchers on, because honestly, it's been a little interesting seeing their family dynamic and having all of the kids over at dinner and just seeing Nell come out of her shell, because you're just kind of used to seeing her more timid and a bit quiet and meek and whatever. So to see her coming out that shell is like, oh, okay now. Okay. But, just wanted to touch on that briefly. But getting back to Chris Fletcher and Martellholt. Now, when Martell on this episode was moving out of the place that Chris has been telling him to get his black ass out of, and he's finally out of it. So he calls Chris to say, hey, look, I'm in a new place. I'm out of the other one now. And Chris was happy about that. But, Chris mentioned to Martell about how he had a conversation with his wife, and she told him about how he was speaking to her. Now, Chris, he was not really going in like that, but Martell, he was just like, yeah, yeah, he wasn't backing down. He didn't really care about Chris's feelings or Nell's for that matter, but we know he doesn't care about Nell's feelings because she's a woman. He has this he-man, woman-hater mentality where he feels like males are above females and men are the heads and women are to be quiet and walk behind and don't talk back. And it's like, this is why you're in the place that you are in right now. And that's why it's laughable to me when I see Arionne trying to showcase him around like he is some treasure prize to be proud of. No, you can have that. You can have that garbage. If you want to be with a loser who doesn't value women's worth, who doesn't value women's words, women should just be quiet, shut up, don't talk back. Like, obviously, that's the type that she is for him. Even though we haven't really seen that, because when she has been out here on social media and saying F you, Martell, and you was just eating my A and all this other stuff, it's like, well, when you're not around him, this is how you speak. And when you're with him, I'm quite sure that's not how she is, right? So I'm just like, this dude is so disgusting, because in the clip for the preview of the next episode, when Chris is speaking to Hotel about that a little bit more, he just goes in to say, well, yeah, women, they shouldn't be really speaking to men like that. I'm not here for women when they talk to men and talk back and whatever. So he basically was saying, you need to tell your B to shut the F up when it comes to me, because I'm not going to be here for it. So he was just like standing 10 toes down, and it's like, say, yeah, I spoke to your wife like that, and what are you going to do about it? You can't have a conversation, a rational conversation with an irrational person, and that's what Hotel is. So I don't even know why Chris and Nell think that it is worth it to say that they are still friends with this person, because he has always shown that he is not a friend to them. He subpoenaed them, did not give them an option whether they wanted to come to court. He subpoenaed them when it came to him trying to take those kids away from Melody. They didn't appreciate that. They have been tried to, at least. He has tried to pit them against Melody to try to make them pick a side. They're not down for that. Which, I mean, really, they should pick a side, the side of right. And Hotel ain't never been right. But hey, just saying. And then finally, when it comes to this, and you basically have Hotel telling Chris, yeah, I talked to your wife like that, and she's a woman. She shouldn't be speaking to a man like that, and I'm a man. I mean, basically, that's what he's saying. So he's basically letting Chris know, tell your B, don't F around with me, because she's going to get it if she continues, and I'm going to let her know. I mean, again, I don't know what redeemable qualities they see in this runt to make them feel like he is a friend and they're not going to pick sides. But if I were them, I wouldn't have anything else to do with him. Yeah, now bringing up the name change ceremony to Hotel was her being petty, but I also do believe that that was a part of her job, because they do have tasks that they are told to carry out. They're not going to tell them specifically what to say, but they're going to say, okay, we need you to bring this up to this person when you meet at this place. That's the way reality TV works for the most part. Okay, it's not scripted, but it is coerced, So I just saw that and I was just in disgust, sitting there shaking my head like, Chris, like, what is wrong with you? The way he talked to his daughter on this most recent episode when she was in the car with her husband, and he was like, just get the F away from my house. That's how he needs to be with Hotel. Like, save that smoke for this loser. I mean, I'm not saying that your daughter wasn't being disrespectful, but I was like, well, okay then. But with Hotel, you're just sitting there and you're having a casual conversation with him about him being disrespectful to your wife. No, that's the type of person that you need to be saying, look, nigga, get the F away from me and away from my house, and don't come back around here. So I'm just saying, to see that, it just really made me side-eye Chris, because Hotel doesn't deserve any understanding. He doesn't deserve a conversation. Your wife told you what happened, and that should just be what it is. not you like coming to him. Because in my personal opinion, I felt like he was coming to Hotel to speak to him about that, to just kind of like get his side, versus saying, look, Nell told me what you said to her. She told me how you said it. Don't be talking to my wife like that. Like on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, when I don't really care for her that much. Not that I don't like her, but I don't know. I just don't care for her on that show. Sanya Richards Ross, and a couple of seasons ago, when they were in Jamaica, and Sanya's husband, when some stuff was going on at the table, they were at a dinner and some stuff was going on at the table and they were coming for his wife. He stood up and he said, don't F with my wife. Like, he didn't ask for no explanations from anyone. He saw it how he saw it, and that was it. That's how Chris should have been with Hotel. Don't F with my wife. Not you coming to him to say, well, you know, Nell told me what you said. I was like, what? What is going on right now? But anyway, guys, I just wanted to talk about that briefly. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Guys, thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful. And now I'm going to say bye.